All right, well, we're back again. So after yesterday, dealing with this quilt and the guitar and everything, I was pretty pissed off. I just sat down for a while and decided to cool off and figure this out. What I did is basically I took the guitar and I did talk to my luthier. I called him and just told him, look, there's bubbles in this, and of course, oh, you can't figure that out. I'm sure he can't figure it out, and so he said to cut it and then put some glue in it and all that and then stain it. But then, if you stain it after you glue it, then it might pop up. And so I said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to finish this stain out. And then after I'm done with both stains, then I'll go ahead and cut the bubbles. But what I did is I finished it out and then I just left it out in the sun. And here's the finish right here. You can see up in the corner here, it flattened out. It's amazing. Just setting it out in the sun tightened the vinyl back up and it laid down flat. And if you remember that part that was a screwy part over here, it blended in real nice. So that's one upside, but the downside is I was sanding over here and had a chip out, and you can see here it's pretty nasty. So I've pretty much tried everything I can to try to get this to look good, but at the end of the day, yeah, just you got to take the goods with the bads. And overall, though, I think it came out pretty nice. I mean, you can't really tell right now because there's no clear coat on it. Let me get my rag here. I'm just going to wipe some water. This is what it's going to look like when the clear coat goes on it. Just kind of a preview of what it's going to look like when I clear it. So there's that, which I have dubbed Purple Candy. Really awesome color. And it's not real hard to do. It's actually fairly easy. I'm going to do a video on just how to do this color. It's actually two colors. It's just a blue and red, but when you mix them they become a purple, and then the red actually lightens up to become almost like a magenta, kind of a pink color. It's really cool, and I really can't wait to get some clear coat on it. Trying to decide which clear coat to use, lacquer or polyurethane or whatever. Probably just go with the poly. I wish I could get that out. But then I did the neck here, which I showed you in the beginning. You're probably staring at that while I was blabbing about my luthier. I went ahead and sanded the neck. Just decided to, make it match the guitar. And this thing was a pain in the ass. This was a major pain in the ass. NK, who makes this, put so much satin on here. I really had to go down in grains. I think I went down to like a 80 grain, then a 180, then like 400, and then 600. And I mean, trying to get all this off was such a pain in the ass. And I didn't want to sand the whole thing out all the way up to here, so I just taped off these edges. Tried to get the top and the front a little bit here. You can see I tried to stain those to match, but sanding in that little area, trying to sand the satin off in just that little area really was a nightmare. But I think it looks good at the end of the day. I might satin this again, or I might just leave it like a natural here. I'm not real sure. I should do something, otherwise it's going to be staying on my hands all day. And there's one other little area back there I probably should hit again with a stain. But overall, lesson that I learned is don't flip out. It's everything can be fixed. Regardless, though, in the future, instead of going to my luthier, I would like to just learn this stuff on my own instead of relying on someone else. If I did have a press to put the quilt on myself, I would have done it. There's a vacuum system I was looking at that was like $400 for the pump, and then you get a big bag and you just put your glue on, put your veneer on, you put it in the vacuum bag, and it just, conforms it to the top of the guitar, and that would be good for anything like a arch top guitar, you know, any type of guitar that has this rollover. So we'll have to see. I'm not sure. This might be the last guitar I ever quilt, seeing as how this has just really been an awful experience in terms of the quilt for me, but I think at the end of the day it's going to look pretty good. So that's the update for today. I'm pretty much done staining. I'm not going to mess with this stuff anymore. I've had stain on my hands for like the last 4 days. Actually had to use, if you ever get stain on your hands, a good way to fix it is wet dry sandpaper. But phone's ringing, guys. Gotta take off. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in how to do the purple color.